educación médica continua. Antes de dar inicio a nuestra sesión, les pedimos que recuerden que podrán hacer todas sus preguntas a través del chat y al final de la sesión las haremos llegar a nuestros ponentes. También es muy importante que coloquen su nombre completo en la pantalla, esto con fines de poder hacer las constancias del consejo. Al final de la sesión les pedimos nos sean tan amables de contestar la encuesta de satisfacción. La liga estará al final de la sesión en el chat o bien podrán tener acceso a través del código QR. El llenar esta encuesta es indispensable para la elaboración de las constancias, así que les pedimos nos hagan favor de hacerlo. Y en nombre de la Escuela de Medicina y Ciencias de la Salud del Tecnológico de Monterrey, les doy la más cordial bienvenida a la sesión académica de pediatría. On behalf of the School of Medicine and Health Science of Tecnológico de Monterrey, we welcome everybody to this session, our grand rounds. I'm going to present our speakers for today. We have a very interesting talk. Is going to be on obesity and as a trigger for renal disease. And our first speaker is Dr. Francisco Cervantes. He earned his medical degree at the Universidad Autónoma de Nuevo León. His pediatric residency was made on Washington, D.C. General Hospital and also at Medical College of Georgia. He's neonatal perinatal fellow at Children's Hospital of San Francisco, a postdoctoral neonatal fellow at Baylor College of Medicine. He is certified by the American Board of Pediatrics and Neonatal Perinatal Subspecialty Board. He was a professor of neonatology at the Universidad Autónoma de Nuevo León, and also we are very honored because he was a professor of neonatology also at our school, Tecnológico de Monterrey, during the 80s. And he's been a clinical preceptor since 2005. He's a co-founder and director of Neonatal Intensive Care Unit at the Hospital de Ginecología Obstetricia in Monterrey. And also he was a founder of our intensive care at the Hospital San José de Monterrey. He's been practiced Dr. Hongwei Wang, he earned his PhD in mathematics at the Texas Tech University, and he works as an assistant professor at Texas A&M International University as a mentor for students in different programs. She also analyzes the achievement and struggles of freshman students and analyzes different data for different areas. She collaborates with Dr. Cervantes as analyzed data on overweight and obesity in children. Has published several articles with regard to kidney, fat liver, and blood pressure. Dr. Orlando Patricio, he earned his PhD from the University of Philippines. He has a postdoctoral training in nanotechnology at Texas A&M University. He works as a professor of physics and assessment coordinator at Laredo College Department of Natural Science, and also works as a faculty of physics and mathematics at Texas A&M International University. He's currently collaborating also with Dr. Cervantes with several medical related projects. So we welcome the three of you. We have an honor to have you with us. So Dr. Cervantes, I'll give you the floor. So let's get started.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
He's going to share his screen now. Okay.
You hear me? You hear me well?
Yes.
You
we
do?
can-
Okay. I'm a pediatrician actually, and we're have a clinic, a pediatric clinic. We started in 2001, and from the very beginning we noticed there was a huge number of babies with overweight. We started suggesting the mouse. The American Diabetes Association diet, low fat, high carbs. It didn't work. Everybody gained weight. So we noticed that there was a lot of diabetes in our population, in the pediatric population. The population that we deal is 95% Mexican American, and there is they have a lot of diabetes in their families. So we suggested to decrease the sugar intake, more protein and veggies, and to drink water and no sugar drinks. And so we started counting in 2002. We counted like classify with a body mass index like 4,000 kids. And we presented that in 2005. And what is okay? And then see what I was telling you about diabetes. We have 80% of our children have at least one close relative with diabetes. 10% has one of the parents already with diabetes. You're talking about people of 30 years of age, and 1 or 2% has both parents with diabetes. We Mexican Americans have very poor tolerance to carbohydrates and alcohol. Lactase, we lose the lactase by 1 year of age, and also we are gallbladder disease prone. And also we have very low vitamin D like a finger. Okay. See, we tolerate very little carbohydrates, like 50, 100 grams, maybe 3 fruits in a day, 1 banana a day, that covers for everything, one cup of cereal, and regular milk. See, when we classify, this is a distribution of the group of kids that we classify in 4,000 kids, and you can see at the bottom the age, and up here is the percentage distribution. As you can see, they were normal at the beginning, and they start decreasing the normal range. The green area is the normal green, like your traffic light. The yellow and the red is the danger, the obese overweight. And you can see that they start to recover some of the slim at 5 years of age, and they enter school and they suddenly decrease also the normal range significantly. And that continues to go on for the next years through school. To the age of 18, you have 60% of the kids are, 60% of the boys are overweight, either overweight, 40% obese, and the girls, 50% of them are 25% obese, 25% overweight. So it's a big problem. So we did lab work whenever they were overweight or the weight was higher than the height, and which includes GGT, liver enzymes, lipid profile, HA1C, thyroid profile sometimes. We do measure the height and the weight and calculate the BMI, measure the waist and the hip circumference to calculate the percentage of body fat in a machine. We check the blood pressure at 3 years of age, and this is important because we're going to mention it later. And we do liver ultrasound. The liver enzymes are abnormal. And so whenever we ask for liver ultrasound, 1 out of 3 will have fatty liver, 20% will heparomegalic, large liver, and although what Dr. Wang showed later, two out of three liver ultrasounds will be a large liver, even though they might not be recognized. This is the glucose levels. 80 is normal, my sugar. 90, 100% you're walking upstairs, is pre-diabetes. And once you are at 110, you can be diabetic already. HA1C 5.7 is our limit, the normal limit. 6, you are already diabetic. Okay, it's just a matter of time when you have diabetes. Okay, this is the liver, the normal purple in the meat market, small size, and it gets bigger and larger with the increase of the all over, and fat, and then you see an inflammation. It's called no longer is fatty liver, now it's hepatitis, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, also name acronym NASH, NASH, like Nashville. And then it's cirrhosis. Okay, everything is preventable, everything is reversible. Now this graph is, I love this graph. I'm in the top, in the right there, here, because I used to run marathons. Here in the middle are the soccer teams, Mexico and the American, and of course the Americans are taller. And here are the Astros, okay? And the Astros are all muscle. They run in the field, and some of the pitchers are overweight over here. So there is no reason why you should be more than 180 pounds, no matter how tall you are. And see the goalkeepers, they're all tall, but nobody gets out of the normal range. Okay, so this is important because if you don't do anything on these sports, you should be here for your height. Okay, and because when you are here, you're already behaving like an overweight or obese, and I'll show you. Okay, so here is what I was saying. This is the liver enzymes: AST, ALT, GGT, alkaline phosphatase in total bilirubin. Total bilirubin should be no more than 0.8, and you can see it goes up in this. Here is the BMI 10, very slim, 25 slim, and 50 and 75 we call them the robust forever. And you can see like here in ALT, there is already a significant increase of the liver enzymes, and it continues to go on the red on the overweight and obese kids. The same happens with GGT. The same happens with alkaline phosphatase, and also happens with bilirubin. So these are the normal range kids distributed in four groups. Now, this is the alkaline phosphatase. Alkaline phosphatase, when it increases, it indicates there is something in the liver, a mass occupying space. So it's fat. Okay, walks like a duck, walks like a duck, poops like a duck. It's a duck, so it's fat. Okay. There is very, very rare diseases that may do the same, but mostly the problem we have is fatty liver. Now, this is the liver, the cholesterol, the same divided in BMIs up to 75, 85 the overweight and the obese, and then 95 and above. So it's all these columns. The red is the girls and the boys are in blue, and you can see here. The cholesterol normally is 165, and it goes up to 170. Not much. There is a difference, of course, but there is not. You don't expect to see 250s like this. This is 2 standard deviations, so comprises 95% of the sample. Triglycerides is an indicator when the triglycerides goes up, you're getting closer to diabetes, and you can see it here. And when the HDL, the good cholesterol, goes down, is an indicator of diabetes. So it's telling you you're getting close to diabetes, okay? And also the insulin, it goes up. See, all these kids you don't know when they're gonna develop diabetes because they are very high. The normal values are here, and peaks are at the same at the alkaline phosphatase at the growth spurt, and then it goes down. So if you have alkaline phosphatase here, you get a liver ultrasound. It's very simple. Now, as BMI increases, the liver size increases, just like in perinatal medicine. This is the slim kids, okay? you can see like 2 standard deviations more around here. So all the other ones are larger livers, okay? So stay on the slim side, as I do. And Orlando is getting close to that, be there. And here is the kidney. The same happened with the kidney. You see the normal kidneys, and you see all the other kidneys, all the other kidneys on the BMI. This is the age and the liver, the kidney volume, excuse me. And the technicians, when you ask, they measure the right kidney. It's a courtesy from them. So we use it, anytime with the numbers, we play them with them. Now, hepatomegaly, before, when we start asking in 2008, we start asking for liver size. They do measure the liver size. And we start getting the diagnosis of hepatomegaly. So 1 out of 5, as I said, mentioned, get diagnosis of hepatomegaly by the radiologist. We have nothing to do with that. And most 80% of them are boys. So the boys are the ones with the more problem with obesity. Now, blood pressure, and I'm about to finish. Good time. The slim kids, okay, this I did it with my Casio 180 F180 computer, like he's 50 years old, as old as I am. This is the normal blood pressure, systolic blood pressure in the slim kids, see here. And when you are in the 50, 75, you're already significantly higher. And the same happens with the girls, okay? It goes on the slim and the 75, and it keeps going up as they grow. So there is already a difference. So the blood pressure is attacking the body. Now, this is from a thesis from Dr. Ms. Cadena, and a thesis of Tamio is available. You can see here divided, this is BMI, increase of BMI, and this is the blood pressure, okay? The 3 to 5, the 5 to 10, and the 10 to 15. I have liver Parkinson's, so don't worry. But you can see that already blood pressure is going up, and that's really scary because you are already having problems very early in life, and so it's preventable. Okay. Now, we wanted to find a test that is simple to use. Glomerular filtration rate. You get the creatinine every time you ask for a lab work. You get creatinine. You multiply by the height in centimeters, and divide by this constant. Is that the way? Yeah, okay. You divide by the height and multiply by the constant. So, and we get these beautiful curves also from Dr. Wang and collaborators that we need to have it. Oh, this is on like 3,000, and we have already 7,000 entries, so it should be much better. But you can see the glomerular filtration rate goes down. Here, the best ones at 18 years of age is 100, more than 100 in the slim kids, and the worst is in the overweight and obese. Okay, my BFI is 100. Okay, my liver is 13 centimeters. So. And that's all I have to say about that. And hola for Estrella. She wanted to say this on Spanish. And ¿cómo dice? Johnny Canales. Johnny Canales. Take it away, Johnny Canales. Orlando, you're next.
Yes, sir. Yes, doctor. Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to be with you all, experts in the medical field. I hope you can hear me. Experts in the medical field, medical doctors, pediatrician, and related fields. Dr. Cervantes have talked about his practice, and he collaborated with Dr. Quintana, Dr. Wang, and Dr. Gunatilaki. And later on, I was invited to join the team. And that's the reason why we have here come up with a research which was published in the Journal of Mathematics and Statistics recently last year. And the publication is titled Predictive Analysis of BMI and Liver Size and Kidney Function in Young Mexican American Population. The following talk will be focused on the following table of contents. We'll be providing a little bit of background of the research, the acronym use and range of values, problem statement, materials and methods, all the way to acknowledgements. To provide you a background on the study, which was conducted, it says here that current research shows an alarming increase of obesity, not only in the United States, but in the European region, and that obesity has detrimental effects on liver and kidney function. Other studies also indicate that overweight and obesity with high prevalence of hypertension are risk factors for ESRD, which we call it the end-stage renal disease. Let me In a more recent finding with the collaborators' findings of this talk, it tells you that they predicted in their study using logistic regression that the number of children with liver disease today may be as high as 25 million. The same group of researchers, which part of this publication, has also made a different study, and they concluded that if this trend continues, the adult population with liver disease could be overwhelming, and the health system in the future could be overwhelmed, and that fatty liver will be the main cause of liver transplant. Although you are mostly experts in the field, this presentation also caters for those who are interested in the future and getting ready to be involved with research related to BMI and kidney function. So we provided also some of the terms to be able to understand fully the terms that were used in this study. So BMI, body mass index, BMI percentile as used in this study will be less than or equal to 25%, classified as underweight, or slim, or skinny, or you can call it a best figure. 26 to 84% as normal. You can call that also as a robust. 85 to 94% as overweight, and those that fall greater than or equal to 95% as obese. BP is blood pressure, CKD is chronic kidney disease, GFR, glomerular filtration rate, an important parameter to assess renal function using endogenous marker, serum creatinine, an indicator of kidney function. eGFR is the estimated glomerular filtration rate that is measured by plasma clearance of creatinine. ESD or ESRD is the end-stage renal disease. Liver size greater than 2SD, and then the stages of CKD is well established by the National Kidney Foundation, and they are as follows. For stage 1, it is a kidney damage with normal eGFR falling greater than or equal to 90 millimeters per minute per 1.73 square meters. Stage 2, kidney damage with mildly decreased eGFR 60 to 89. Stage 3, kidney damage with moderately decreased eGFR falling 30 to 59. Stage 4, kidney damage with severely decreased eGFR falling 15 to 29. Stage 5 is going to be kidney failure, eGFR less than 15 milliliters per minute per 1.73 square meters. So what's the importance of that 1.73 meters square? So it relates to the body surface area 1.73 square meter as the normal mean value for young adults. And There is a relationship for that because kidney function is proportional to kidney size, which is also proportional to body surface area. So this study investigated the relationship of GFR, BMI percentile, liver size, blood pressure, and right kidney volume among overweight and obese boys and girls. It also determined the probability of fatty liver, as mentioned by Dr. Cervantes in his talk a while ago, related to hepatomegaly and liver size greater than or equal to 2SD in relation to AIDS in the category of the BMI percentile a while ago. It also identified the predictors of GFR. So how did we analyze the data and come up with the results, analyze, and publish? So we were given the approval by the Institutional Review Board at Texas A&M International University to go on with these findings, and we obtained the data from the pediatric clinic of Dr. Cervantes. And we analyzed around 763 children that visited his office, started from 2003 to 2018. Data mining was used from his great volume of data, and we analyzed it using SPSS, or statistical package for the social sciences. Now, the findings of the data that we have involve statistical analysis. Along with that, we have the findings. So you can see from here on the screen that we perform linear regression to determine the relationship of liver size versus AIDS in relation to BMI percentile. And this figure on the right here is a comparison of liver size between boys and girls by age. So this is the blue color line here is the BMI percentile for boys, and the red line here is the BMI percentile for girls. And that is the relationship between liver size and age. And it says here that liver size in boys increases faster with a beta or slope of 0.327 compared to the liver size of girls. It has a slope here or beta of 0.240. In figure 2, it is a comparison of liver size among underweight, normal, overweight, and obese boys by age. The liver size of overweight and underweight, that is the color red here, line color red and purple. These boys increases with age almost at the same rate in terms of their liver size. The liver size of obese boys increases with age more slowly than the liver size of overweight and underweight boys. Between the age of 8 to 9, the normal and overweight boys have similar liver size, and after this age range, overweight boys have larger size than normal boys. Overall, obese boys have the largest liver size at any age. The next figure here, number 3, is about the comparison of the same BMI categories, but focuses on girls by age. So it says here that underweight girls have the slower increase rate in liver size, and that is represented by the purple line color. And between the age of 8 to 9, the underweight, normal, and overweight girls have similar liver size. As you can see here, the slopes are almost the same for these 3 categories. And between 10 to 12 years old, the normal and overweight girls have similar liver size. So they are almost in the same slope here. After this age range, overweight girls have larger liver size than normal girls. So you can see here the red line going up faster than the green line. So similar observation as we had for boys, obese girls have the largest liver size at any age. The next figure here is a path analysis to determine the predictors of liver size, enlargement, and reduced GFR. So the data is a combination of continuous data and also binary data or categorical. So we classify them into those groups of data, and when we perform them with the correlation, we use Pearson product moment correlation if the variables we are considering are continuous, and we use Spearman-Rho correlation for ordinal or categorical variable. To make sense of the data here, we consider those data that have significant results falling less than or equal to 0.05 will be considered significant at this level. Also, more significantly, if the value or the probability falls less than or equal to 0.01 with 2 asterisks, and if it's 3 asterisks, is highly significant. It's probability less than or equal to 0.001. So you can see from the graph here or this figure that BMI percentile, liver size, hepatomegaly, systolic, diastolic blood pressure, GFR or right kidney volume. To analyze further the result and make more sense of what is the trend that we can come up with the correlation, a binary logistic regression was used to determine the probability of fatty liver, hepatomegaly, liver size greater than 2 SD. And this figure here on the right is a figure that tells us that fatty liver is considered to be related to the BMI percentile, and the trend here reveals that the probability of fatty liver for boys and girls combined increases exponentially as the BMI percentile increases. The next figure here is the relationship between hepatomegaly and BMI percentile, and the result shows similar trend here, that the probability of hepatomegaly for both boys and girls increases exponentially with BMI percentile. So it's going the same trend as the earlier findings. And the same trend is also observed with the liver size greater than 2 SD versus BMI percentile for both boys and girls. So what is the meaning of these 3 figures? It is summarized in figure number 8. So putting them all together with the 3 results that we have earlier, the results shows here that the fatty liver becomes fatty first before it gets larger than 2 SD. And as the liver gets fatty, it enlarges exponentially. So there is a succession here, how one variable affects the other. And the other tool that we use here is a factor analysis, and we use Ecomax related metrics to confirm that there are variables that affect the enlargement of the liver as well as the GFR. And it says here anything greater than 1 eigenvalue reveals that there are factors. So there are 3 factors here that will affect the eGFR or kidney function. I'll be passing on now the talk to Dr. Juan. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm Hongwei Wang from Texas A&M University, International University in Laredo, Texas. It is my honor to meet you all here virtually. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this presentation, and thank you to the organizer for this great gathering. We have been doing this research for the children in Laredo for many years. The original intention is to help the parents or the caregiver to get guidance to help the children, because we think the obesity is not developed overnight. It requires a lot of attention from the first caregiver with regard to how we serve the food for our children. So we are happy to share our result here with everyone. Thank you, Dr. Patricia, for your presentation. Thank you for Dr. Cervantes. So now I'm going to present the predictive model function of GFR using multiple regression. So here we have the first part is the regression model. And from here, we can find all those predictors have significant effect on GFR, such as the BMI percentile, liver size, and systolic blood pressure. And for this model, what we can see is if we consider the overweight and obese individual, the GFR actually decreases with the large liver and increased systolic blood pressure. The effect on BMI percentile with age on GFR. Cognizant of the effect of BMI percentile on kidney function, it is imperative to determine the age of obese and overweight children with decreased GFR. So we use the cubic curve between the GFR and age for the obese and overweight categories of boys and girls to determine how the age affect the GFR. So here is what we found. So the left fig is the cubic curve we use to estimate the age and the GFR, and all those children we used are overweight and boys and girls, both genders. And on the right side, we can see as age increases, age is on the x-axis, the eGFR, the value actually decreases. And at a certain point, they start decreasing automatically. Here you see is a very steep here. And we estimate the age here is about 9.185. So this is a result we analyzed in overweight children, including boys and girls. So next, we're going to show the result we analyzed for obese children, including girls and boys. So here, the same analyzed, the cubic estimation was made for age and the GFR in obese boys and girls. And the right side, we can find as age increases, the eGFR start increasing, which makes sense. As the child grows, the function behaves well and better. But at a certain point, here we estimate is 7.755 in obese children. Then the eGFR starts decreasing dramatically. So if we still remember the number we just got for overweight children, 9.185, compare with this number, the 7.755 actually happened almost 2 years before. So we understand that for obese children, they have higher prevalence of reduced kidney function at an earlier age than the overweight children. And understand that age really make a big difference in the function of GFR. We corrected the predictive model function of GFR. So with the new predictor age, we find this new model. And this model suggests that here the only significant predictors for GFR are age and liver size. And from here, we can see the GFR decreases with the age along with the liver enlargement. So the summary of our result and conclusion is there is a relationship between BMI percentile and the probability of fatty liver, hepatomegaly, and the liver size above 2 standard deviation. The exponential trends in probabilities between the liver size and age indicate that overweight and obese boys and girls are at higher risk for fatty liver and enlarged livers. Overweight and obese boys and girls have reduced the kidney function as indicated by their decrease in GFR. For high BMI percentile, the increased liver size and increase in systolic blood pressure are precursors, or we say predictors, to decrease kidney function with age as a mediating variable. So we would humbly say the Department of Health and Human Service should develop strategy for prevention and management of overweight and obesity in children. Such critical action would lessen the escalating health issue on chronic liver enlargement and reduce kidney function among young Americans. And it's also very, very important to educate young Americans how to eat healthy and stay healthy to avoid liver enlargement and kidney failure. And here are some references we have. And we have our special thank you to the following minds who helped in the publications of this research article for directions, research capability, and statistical process. So the first one is the chair of the Department of Mathematics and Physics in TAMU, Texas A&M International University, Dr. Gunnar Lagi. And the second one is Associate Professor Dr. Fernando Quintana from Department of Biology at TAMU. And we also like to thank Dr. Francisco Cervantes and Ms. Margarita Fass. And we also want to thank Dr. Hernando Patricio. Appreciation also goes to TAMU IRB for allowing us to conduct this research. Thank you so much for your time. Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you very much to the three of you who have talked and you know, we can see the problem of obesity, and not only in the United States but also in Mexico. We have an enormous problem with this situation of the obese children, and that's as Dr. Cervantes was saying, that they gave guide to the parents. Also, when you see an obese children, well, you can see that also the parents are obese. So what kind of advice can you give to the parent also? Because it's a family problem, and just a kid problem. It's a family problem. Anything that you do on your practice, Dr. Cervantes?
I remember I was in a room with a family. They were all big, okay, including the kid. And I said, am I going to tell them to lose weight? They're going to kill me right here. Just stop me. But it is a big problem. As I was saying, kids in my office don't eat red meat, don't eat eggs because they're fat, and they eat a lot of juice drinks, a lot of sugary drinks. They don't drink water. I have kids who don't drink water. Okay, the salad at schools, they offer them salad. Nobody touches the salad. Mexican. I started eating veggies with Margarita, but before I never ate veggies. Okay, this is if you eat veggies or salad, you will eat less. Okay, So, and also Laredo is a big, okay, I guess it's happened the same in Mexico. The heat, the temperature is very high, 100, 110 degrees, which is like 40. So it's very difficult to exercise in a very, like in the desert, like in Qatar, and very hot. And so we need more spaces to exercise, more trees to have shade, so people can go out and do some exercise. Exercise and a proper diet is essential for everybody.
In our practice, we do some workout lab when we have already the problem, when the kid is obese. What should be the workout before that? At what age will be the basic workout lab that we can ask for?
But I'll answer that question because I'm the clinician. The lab work we have chemistry and lipid profile, liver enzymes, thyroid thyroid profile, and they will give you the clue. We measure HA1, hemoglobin A1C, and the insulin also tells you. We order separately. I included GGT because we had an epidemic of cholecystitis in like 2010, and it was related to spicy chips. So now we had like 40 kids that went cholecystectomy, and now we have like one a year. Now when do you start screening? As early as possible. If you see a 1 or 2 year old, now with the pandemic, we saw a lot of overweight, obesity in younger kids, like 1 to 3 years old. So you order whenever the kid is overweight, you order because you don't know how it's impacting and you already know that the blood pressure and the kidney function is beginning, the blood pressure is affecting from early life. Liver grows as you grow, and the liver grows as your BMI increases. So, and it becomes fatty. And so you need to stay. We do like every year labs see we see like 150 to 100 kids a week in the office, and many of them we have to see them because they come for a physical exam. And if you see the overweight, you ask for the labs, and sometimes people don't. If you look, sometimes takes like 5 orders for the people to finally do the lab work. But if otherwise, obesity keeps going up and keeps going up. So you stress them and put a lot of you remind them. You don't threaten them. You just tell them, watch out, because you already have fatty liver, you already have high insulin, you already have high blood pressure. So you tell them, you are too young to have this problem. That's what I did in pediatrics, because internal medicine, you don't cure anybody, you don't kill anybody. They all get these medications, and so it's a time to do some preventive medicine, even though the people don't like it. People don't like to be told that they are overweight. Like Orlando didn't like it.
And when you ask for a workout lab, you suggest the parents to do the same labs?
To the parents?
To the parents, because they might get angry, as you said earlier.
They do. I have a complaint from somebody because he was like 400 pounds. And I said, have you checked this? Oh, doctor says it's okay. No, obesity is, overweight is an inflammatory state. And it's gonna shorten your life. You're gonna make your life miserable at the end. And you're gonna end up in dialysis. You're gonna, with no legs, with diabetes and better on medication and a cardiovascular problem, the early death, this is there. And the good thing is the BMI in children is as predictive as in adults. This is the good thing.
One of the audience said that if you could mention something about the newborns from diabetic mothers.
This is a kid, when he's born, the mother has a diabetes during the pregnancy, we call him el niño chismoso, the how do you say, the tell, because he's telling you, you're gonna be diabetic to the mom. If she has diabetes in the pregnancy, she's gonna be diabetic, okay? So she's telling you some of these mothers stay diabetic, continue to be diabetic. So it's at risk. The underweight, the undernourished kid is at risk for obesity, and obviously the macrosomic kid is also at risk for getting obese. I remember a doctor who, he was like 300 pounds when I was in Monterrey, and I told him, I look at him and said, you were macrosomic when you were born. Yeah, he was 10 pounds. A baby who's 9 pounds, you already have a problem, okay? A baby shouldn't weigh more than 9 pounds when he's born.
If they don't lose it the first year, they're going to continue.
If they, so you have to keep them, and they already have problems when they are born. They have low sugar and things like that.
And you have to follow them earlier.
You follow them, and be sure. A lot of them have feeding difficulties when they are in the nursery, because they are big, but big shoulders, big liver. That's where we got the liver idea, because it's a in prenatal undernourished kid, and it has a small liver. The liver size makes the abdomen, and a macroscopic kid has big trunk, big abdomen, big liver. And they already have heart problems. Okay, we're gonna begin to look at the, people are looking at the cardiovascular effect on the heart muscle, the ejection fractions, and the thickness of the heart, the ventricles and the ventricle walls, because it's all over. It's all over. I was very impressed about how the kidney gets larger. Hippocrates would say, a sick person has a large kidney. We didn't make it up. It's been there for history for many years. Does it answer?
And yes, and Dr. Wang was telling that with his graph that the kidney starts suffering where you have 2 years before the liver gets enlarged. So it's very, very important when you see a liver that's already enlarged. You have been suffering also from the kidney.
Yes, definitely. I think is just a lot more we can do as parents, as the caregiver. And I am a mom of a 16-year-old baby. And it is true that some baby grow born with obesity or with issues, but still we can live with obesity with the attitude positively. And if you have ever checked the baby food in the market now, a lot of baby food, they brand as baby food, but they actually include a lot not healthy ingredients. And if you check the category of sugar, and it actually comes with a lot of sugar. So I think as parents, since baby is very young age, it's important to develop a good habit with regard what they eat. Either they stay active every day or they have good sleeping schedule. I suggest like the young parents or the school to provide the fresh whole foods to the young babies or the school kids, and that probably will be good for prevention or to before the situation get worse.
Thank you, Dr. Wang. Dr. Patricio, could you give us a take-home message for to the audience from your perspective as a
Hello. What I can think of I learned from the research here is that we need to be alert in observing the BMI percentile for growing kids, because as mentioned earlier by the other presenters, knowing your BMI category, it alerts you on what to do best for your health. So if you are in the borderline, then you can probably think of what to take in, what to eat. And maybe we can do the same for our younger kids. If we are parents, maybe we can be as models to them so that they will be able to follow our footsteps to be healthy. And I'm trying my best as well. I'm also a parent of two, and I'm trying to see to it that my kids will be as healthy as possible based on the suggestion of their physicians or medical doctors, so we can live longer and be able to enjoy life and be able to give back to the community.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Cervantes. A take-home message for message for the audience.
Take-home message. I mean, you have to watch your weight. You have to watch your weight, and you have to exercise. Okay, this. Let me say something. We have Margarita and me. We had a child who is now 32 years old, and he was breastfed. Okay, and when we started regular meal around close to a year, he started having terrible diarrhea. He was really intolerant to glucose. Okay, and so he grew up without sugar. So when we started medicine, they tell us that you have to eat everything, sugar, but we are not used to sugar. We were not eating sugar before the invasion from Europe came, and 500 years ago. That's the problem. We changed our diet, and we have now we're paying the price. This kid grew up normal. He's very intelligent, more intelligent than me and his mom. And he grew up without sugar for 5 years. So our daughter, which is 29, she grew up without sugar because we couldn't give any sugar for the other guy. So they grew up without sugar. And so you can live without sugar. I mean, if you don't drink sugar, your triglycerides are going to go to 50. One day you don't eat any sugar, your triglycerides are going to go to 50 and make your life better from one day to the next. Okay, and trust me. So you do lab work and you will be surprised. Even though these kids in the robust side, they already have problems. We already show it, and sometimes they are severe. So this kid is at higher risk. So obviously the obese is a big problem. Sometimes it's very hard to change it. We have right now bariatric surgery, which is not a solution, but it helps for the people who are about 200 pounds that they cannot lose weight. And we have kids 16, 14 who already had surgery and they lose 100 pounds. They lose 100 pounds and the blood pressure goes away by the next day. It's unbelievable how good response they have to bariatric surgery. That's my take-off message.
Thank you very much, Dr. Cervantes, Dr. Orlando Patricio, and Dr. Wang. It was a wonderful presentation. I'm pretty sure that's going to be very useful for our physicians. Thank you very much. And we'll really appreciate your presentation. Les recordamos que nos hagan favor de llenar la encuesta de satisfacción con el fin de poder mejorar nuestras presentaciones y también poder elaborar las constancias. Que tengan un excelente día. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take it away.
Bye.
Ya. Muy bien, los tres.
Muchas gracias, doctor Cervantes. Excelente, excelentísimo.
Okay.
Muy interesante, muy gráfico y bueno, el hacer trabajo.